Hi, welcome to the Animal Experience, and this is episode number 10. I can't believe we've been going for 10 weeks now. It's pretty amazing. And I'm having a ball, and I hope you are too. It's really been a lot of fun for me to unfold all of the wisdom that the animals have shared with me over the years. I'm happy to do that. And hello, everyone, for joining. I want to let you know what I will be doing is I'll take your questions. If you have any, feel free to type them in, but I'm not going to take them until the end of the show. That way, we can get right to it. And I'm seeing all these people joining because we're doing a Facebook Live and I'm loving it. So let's get to it. So first off, what I want to do is I want to explain what the animal experience is. The animal experience is my little show that I like to put together every week for you guys, where I bring you the experiences of the animals that I've talked to over the years, their wisdom, their thoughts, their insights, sharing their knowledge, excuse me, and their way of seeing life with all of you. And it's been a pretty incredible experience going through this myself personally, and to be able to bring it to all of you is just fantastic. Hi, everyone. So very soon what's happening with the animal experience is this. I mean, just under 10 weeks, it has been pretty incredible. There's been a lot of stuff going on with YouTube. There has been also, I am in the process of making the video into audio and making them available as podcasts, because I've had some interest in that. And pretty soon they will be available on both iTunes and on Google Play. I will let you know as soon as that happens. And then also there's a possibility of something else happening with it. But until I work out the specifics with that, I don't really want to share. So I'm keeping my mouth shut. So, but until then, you can view these every week, every Thursday on my Facebook personal page. And like I said before, on YouTube, if you want to see them, if you can't catch them at this time. What I'm thinking about doing is this, and I'm hoping that you will give me your insights. I have some wonderful people on my Facebook page that have no problem giving me their thoughts on things. And what I'm going to do is, what I'm thinking about doing is I'm thinking about changing the time for the animal experience and making it a little later on in the day. So I'm thinking about making it 5:30 Pacific, 6:30 Mountain, 7:30 Central, and 8:30, then it's going to be 8:30 Eastern. Let me know what you think of that, if that works better for you, because I know 1 o'clock is a weird time for a lot of people. And I was doing it so that I was trying to help as many people as I can get on, but I think making it later might make it a little bit more active. But I don't know. I haven't, don't freak out. I haven't committed to it 100%. I'm just asking right now. All right. So don't panic. All right. Okay. So what I would like to do here today is a very special day for me. Today is the day that I helped my Heart Cat PC transition over to the Rainbow Bridge. And I might get a little emotional because it's been 10 years, but she was an extraordinary being. And I'd like to dedicate this episode to Miss PC, who PC stands for Perfect Cat, because she was a perfect cat to me. So here we go. Ooh, sorry. Let me just get myself straight. Okay. So this is episode 10. and it's about LOA and the animals. That's a short version of saying the law of attraction. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, what is the law of attraction? Just give you a little background for those of you who may not know. So the law of attraction, in a very concise way, is it is your thoughts are creating your now reality. You are co-creating your life with the universe through the thoughts and you think and the emotions you feel. Period. People have written books about it. They have websites on it, but basically the bottom line is this: when you cut away all the other stuff, it is you are co-creating your life with the universe through the thoughts you think and the emotions you feel. They're tied together. So vibration, because of this, vibration plays a huge role in the whole thing. Now, what I mean by vibration is it's what you're vibing, it's what you're feeling, it's what you're putting out to the universe. If you're happy, skippy, and having a great day, then you'll notice that you don't really attract the people that are kind of having the poopy day. You're not really attracting people who are, in the struggle and the pain and all this kind of stuff. You're gliding, they're gliding, you're connecting to people who are, happy and joyous also, and loving life as well. It's the same, it's the opposite. When you're having an interesting day, okay, you attract interesting people. So vibration plays a big role in it. It's the vibes you're giving out, not to sound hippie about it, but it is really about the vibrations. And for an example of that is that you go to a party. I'm sure you've all had this experience where you go to a party, you go into the party, and within 10 seconds if that party is rocking or if that party is rolling off the cliff. And because you're feeling the vibes. You haven't talked to anybody, you haven't really had any experience with anybody. What you're doing is you're feeling the vibrations of the situation and everybody's vibrations in the room. So I know that without getting too woo-woo about it and without getting too crazy about it, everything is energy. And what I mean by that is every single thing on this plane is made up of energy, whether it is an inanimate object or whether it is some living object. And the molecules and the cells that are spinning at a certain level, the higher and the faster they spin, the more solid something is. The slower that they spin, the softer that thing, whatever it might be, is. And this is all vibration. This is all energy. That is what we are made of. We are made up of, and this is nothing new. This is nothing woo-woo. This has been scientifically proven. People and human beings and beings themselves are made up of energy. This energy is guided by vibration. Okay, that is what I'm talking about when I'm talking the law of attraction. Your vibes, your energy, your thoughts, this is all vibration. Your emotions are creating your life, and you're doing it with the universe. I know that some of us would like to think, and maybe, if you do, that's fine. If this doesn't resonate with you, it's okay, but this is what I've learned from the animals. Every single thing I learned about LOA, pretty much I learned from the animals. So if you believe that there's some person that's guiding you and ruling your life and that resonates with you, then that's fine. Me, it feels more comfortable when I found out about LOA and I found out that the animals are co-creating their lives with the universe, and we all are. That kind of made me feel better. So I have relied on that. So the vibrations, it's basically like attracts like. So if you believe life's a struggle, life is going to be a struggle. If you believe life is joy, then primarily what you're going to be getting is you're going to be getting joy. That's the way that it is. It's like attracts like. All right. So what I want to do now is that what I want to let you know is all this for me began around or about 2002. And it began when I became attuned to a Reiki master. And I started sending healing to animals because at the time I was primarily I wasn't really working with people. I was working primarily with animals. So I was doing a huge amount of healing work with them. And as I was connecting with them, I kept hearing the same phrase over and over again. And that phrase was stream of well-being. And I didn't know what that was. So what the stream of well-being is, in a nutshell, is that every single being on this planet has got a flow, a vibrational flow or stream that is coming to them filled with all different kinds of things, filled with good times, filled with good experiences, filled with joy, filled with love, filled with family and friends, and filled with health, stream of well-being, and abundance as well. So all this is basically what well-being is all about. Well-being is all this good stuff, and it's flowing to you. Now, the rate of how fast it flows to you is coinciding, and this is what the animals told me, coinciding with how lined up you are and how much you trust in it. Okay, some days it's flowing to us like a river, and some days it's flowing to us in a trickle. Doesn't mean that we're doing anything wrong. It's just we have to line up with it. It depends on how lined up we are with our stream of well-being, is the rate in which it flows to us. Like attracts like, if that makes sense. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining. Again, thanks for joining. So if that makes sense to all of you, I hope it does, because that is going into what I'm going into next. So the animals are masters at LOA, which is what I'm going to just call this law of attraction, or we'll be here all day. So the animals are masters at LOA. Why? As I said to you before, I was doing a lot of healing work with the animals, and I kept hearing the same phrase over and over again. Stream of well-being. I kept hearing about the oneness, which is what they call God or the universe. And I wasn't quite sure what was going on. I wasn't asking those hard questions. I was just kind of just hanging out and just trying to figure out what everything was going on, and just sending them healing, and would figure it out later. So I have since found out, everybody's laughing. I have since found out that the animals are masters at it, because I have talked to them about it specifically. And why are they masters at it? Well, number one, the animals are very tied to vibration. Okay? They're very tied to vibration. It is a huge part of their life. They see energy, they feel energy on a huge level. You want examples? Earthquakes, fires, tsunamis, hurricanes, tornadoes. Animals know about this before they even happen. Sometimes days, sometimes weeks before they even happen. Why? Because they feel the vibration. They feel the energy building. They feel all this stuff. And so do we, but we have a tendency, being humans, to, complicate things a little bit. So, all these things are vibration. All these things are energy. And they also know, you've all had animals in life, and you've all seen animals act either like they like somebody or they don't like somebody instantly. Animals know if somebody's cool and somebody's not cool. If somebody's nice or somebody's not nice. If somebody's got baggage or somebody doesn't have baggage. They know it not only because, of course, they're telepathic, and we're sending all these vibes out, but because it's vibration. Because the thoughts you think, the emotions you feel, make that vibration inside of you, make that emotion and vibration palpable to it that's inside of you palpable to the animals, and they feel it and they know. They also know when somebody's sad, when somebody really needs them, when somebody's sick. All this stuff turns into vibrational energy feeling for them. So animals are very tied to that. Animals trust in the universe. You want to know how to connect to the universe, okay? You want to know how to connect or to the universe, to God, to Buddha, to Goddess. The animals call it the oneness. You want to know how to connect to the oneness. Ask the animals. Look to the animals. Because they are Zen. When we don't interfere with them, when we don't get into their way, they are usually Zen. They're in, they're out, they're flowing, they're going. They're not pushing against. It's only when humanity gets involved in the animals in a negative or discordant, I shouldn't say negative, in a discordant way, that we kind of like throw a wrench into their flow. So energy, they trust the oneness. They trust in their natural state of well-being. As long as they aren't taught not to trust, they trust. The animals in the stream of well-being, so how do they connect to this? They connect to it much faster than we do, again, because they trust. They want to get back into their flow of the stream of well-being as soon as possible. They want to get back into the flow of alignment. They want to get back into the flow of love and happiness and joy. And that's all what LOA is about. They want to get back into the positive emotions as soon as possible. So what's amazing to me is I've been doing healing work with animals for quite a few years now, and it never ceases to amaze me how quickly they heal. I've done flower essences, Reiki, aromatherapy, empathic health scans, food, all different kinds of stuff. And the animals will line up so much quicker than my human clients do. Not all of them, but a few of them, because they want to let go of their stuff. They don't have the doubt. They trust. They want to go. They want to be. They want to feel good. It's really incredible. I mean, to the point where it's like somebody will say that their animal is, having a hard time, and they're on the way to the vet or something, and I'm sending healing, and immediately they see the animal, they see the results. Whereas the animal might have been at death's door, and then all of a sudden they're not. This is all about LOA. It's about the stream of well-being. It's about trusting. It's about alignment. It's about positivity. It's about feeling good and not making apologies for wanting to feel good. No matter what the heck is going on, animals don't give a crap about who's president. They don't care about who's doing this and who's doing that and who's over here and who's over there. They don't care. All they want to do is they want to feel joy. They want to get into that Christ consciousness of happiness and joy. Absolutely. Should we be doing the same thing? 100%. The law of attraction, you want to know about it? Watch your animals, because they are in alignment. I would say probably 95% of the time. And even when they're not, to get back into it. We have a tendency to doubt it. Oh, is it really working? I'm not really sure. What's all this about? This is too woo-woo for me. We have a tendency to doubt when we should trust, and trust when we should doubt. So that's my opinion on that. So animals are masters at the law of attraction, stream of well-being. They want to feel good. Now they want to feel good. That is their goal. No matter what they do, their end goal is, I want to feel good. And so do we, but we have a tendency not to flow with it as much unless we're trained in it. So they want to feel good, and this goes for wild as well as domesticated animals. It does not matter, okay? It's all across the board. So what I want to do is that what I want to say is I'm going to be posting. I was going to post it before I went live, but I'm going to post a really great example of my own personal experience with my cat, Sammy. And Sammy is a master at the stream of well-being. This cat has healed himself from stuff that veterinarians are still mind blown over. They still don't understand. They don't get it. They think that, it's just luck. I mean, maybe it's just luck. And it's like, no, it's got nothing to do with luck. It's got to do with the fact that this cat is a master at lining up with his stream of well-being. So I will post that post from my website on my Facebook page at the end, because it's a great example of the stream of well-being. So what does this mean? What is it, creating your life through thought? What does this mean? What's all this about? So it's kind of like works in tandem with what I was talking about in episode 5, which was about soul plans and life plans. I think that was episode 5. And soul plans and life plans are, and you could go back and read about it, but it touches and works in tandem with the soul plans and the life plans. They're both setting intentions. They're both intention setting soul agreements that you have with the universe. And that is that I want to do this. I want to be this. I want to live this way. I want to live with this person. I'm going to hook up with this soul when I'm down here. It's kind of like it works in tandem with your creating your life and your thought, because it's what your soul believes. And if you're in touch with your soul, like the animals are very much in touch with their soul and their life plans, they fall into creating their life much easier. The universe always says yes. That's what law of attraction is about. The law of attraction is the universe always says yes. Now, what happens is whether or not it manifests or not is what is up to you, and up to whether you're lined up with the manifestation or whether you're blocking it. And animals are very, very good at maneuvering through the landmines of LOA and the landmines of alignment, so to speak. They don't like to get into, they don't complicate stuff. They don't make it more difficult than it is. They kind of just like, okay, this is happening right now. It's happening for a reason, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. It's happening for a reason, but I'm still going to be lined up with my manifestation of wanting this end game to happen. It's very enlightening when you see this, because especially when you're dealing with animals like I have, who have been treated less than kindly, they're so focused on the end of what this is happening, of what they want to manifest, whether it is finding a forever home, whether it is getting out of the abuse or the neglect, whether it is, they are so lined up, trying to be lined up with this, and the hope is incredible from them. Even though they go through some very hard times, they don't lose their hope because they're focused on the manifestation. I hope that makes sense, because that's super important. And it was so enlightening for me when I was connecting to the animals when I was working. I was volunteering at the CACC in Manhattan, going in, taking pictures of the animals for pet finders. So I saw some interesting stuff. But I met some incredible animals who had been through so much, and they're looking at the end game. They weren't looking at what was happening. They were trying to leave that behind, that pain, because they understood that staying in the pain doesn't help them, and it doesn't help anyone. It doesn't help anyone. They're trying to let go of their pain. So I'll discuss this a little bit more, and I'll talk a little bit more about this in the next episode. So the universe always says yes, but it's the individual's choice to align either with what they want or what they don't want. So the more complicated you make it, the more complicated it becomes. Like attracts like. Again, like attracts like. Animals are great at making things as uncomplicated as possible. That's why they're able to experience unconditional love, no matter what the circumstances they may experience. Like I was talking about before, they're always focused on, I'm trying to get back to feeling good. I want to get back to that space of feeling good. I want to get back to alignment. So they are incredible, and they have so much to share when it comes to the law of attraction. It will blow your mind. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take some of the questions. If anybody has questions, feel free to ask. I'm going to start at the beginning and work my way down. But I want to thank everybody for joining, because I've got a whole load of people on here, and it is fantastic. Okay, so here we go. So, my friend Jean is on. I haven't seen her in years. Hi, Jean. Let's see. We have, yes, much better work for schedule for Julie. Oh, the later. Okay, got it. So that's 1 for yes and 2 again. So if what I want to say is this, I'm going to be possibly, nobody freak out, but I'm thinking of changing the times to something later on, so that it maybe helps the animal experience become a little bit more popular, but you can always download them or see them on YouTube. I'm also going to have a podcast available for both on iTunes and on Gmail, Google Play. But I'm thinking of changing it to 5:30 Pacific, 6:30 Mountain, 7:30 Central, and 8:30 Eastern time. Let me know if that works for you, because I'm kind of taking a consensus. I already know that Adele is freaking out, so one of my clients. So Paula says, hi, Coriel, Truffle and Brulee, send their hellos. Much love to your kitties. I love those too. They're amazing. Neely Brian says, when Sassy was in surgery and started bleeding, you sent healing and the bleeding instantly stopped. It's not just me. It's not me. I mean, it is me, but it's not me. It's them. When you told me that, Neely, it still blows my mind how quickly these animals line up with it. The flower essences, I used to love working with them, because it used to be instantaneous sometimes. Animals who were suffering from fear and aggression and despair would take a sip of flower essences, the water in the flower essences, and they would be healed. They would start their healing. I mean, they want to feel good. It's the way we should be. It's the way everyone should be. If we do things that make us happy and make us feel good, our happiness is the most important thing, because it's from what everything stems from. If you're happy, if you're joyous, if you're free, you're attracting that. You're bringing more of that energy, that vibration, those emotions into your life. If you're feeling more and more down and more unhappy, it's a low feeling vibration. Unhappiness and depression and powerlessness. Powerlessness is the lowest vibration you can feel. When you're happy, you're feeling, what do you feel? I say, I feel great. I feel on top of the world. I feel high. Yeah, because you're vibrating at a higher level. The other stuff is middle ground. So just to let you know, and that's where the animals want to be. They want to be on high. So we just try to get out of their way so that we can, let them be high as they want to be. Okay, so other questions? Shelly Young. We will be having a visiting dog come to our house. I need Ruby and Ken to accept their behavior, the visitor, and make her welcome for a short stay. How does their stream of well-being work into this encounter? It works into the encounter. The stream of well-being is about, let's call it health and happiness. So if they're feeling good, their stream of well-being is flowing to them. If they're feeling, and there's no real need for them to show unwanted behavior. There's really no need for them to start freaking out over this new pup that's coming in for a visit. But it also works tandem and hand in hand with animal communication, because sometimes they need to be told what's going on ahead of time, and you can't just like lay this new visitor on them without letting them know, because how would you feel if somebody brought home a visitor to your house and didn't tell you about it ahead of time? So maybe doing an animal communication session is something that you feel like you need to do. But if they're feeling like comfortable as they possibly can, and you let them know what's going on, they should flow with it. I hope that answered that question. Adele, I get it. It's cool. Thank you. She'll work with whatever I do. Carla, if I catch it in replay, that's fine. I will do whenever you choose the best. Okay. Thank you. You're giving me an opinion on that. I appreciate it. Okay, so what I'm doing right now is I'm answering more questions about the law of attraction in animals. So if anybody has any questions that they like to share, let me know. So can we ask our animals to show us and teach us? Jamie asks. Yes. I mean, you could just examine them. I mean, Tao just came in. That's why I'm looking down. Oh, and here he is. You can just examine them. Just look at how they're doing, how they're flowing with stuff. Hi, everyone. Just see how they're flowing and how they're going. How they're flowing and going, how they're living their lives. Last week I talked to you about, I think it was last week. Yes, last week I talked to you about, how do you talk to your own animals clearly? Well, this is a question you might want to find out and talk to them about. You're not so invested in the answer. Let me know what you think about LOA. Let me know what you think about your stream of well-being. Excuse me, I have to kiss my cat. Okay. Let me know what you think about your stream of well-being. Let me know what you think about vibration and manifestation and the oneness. Let me know what you think about that. So, that's an ability to talk to your animals. This is an ability you use what I told you last week about how to hear your animals clearly. And I gave you some tips that I do myself, or I used to do. That, thanks for spitting on me, Tahoe, and I appreciate that. That I do myself, that, I used to do when I started off. So you might want to look into that episode. Sorry, he's a drooler, so he's drooling on me. It's kind of disgusting. So, question. Serena has, why is Toby attracting so much fear? It could be a lot of reasons. Again, I would not know unless I connected with him, but off the top of my head, it could very well be that animals, and I will talk more about this next week, because it's going to be a very, very interesting topic. But animals usually can flow into their stream of well-being without a problem. Sometimes they have a trouble. I don't know what that can be. They have trouble getting into it. They have trouble. They get out of it. Something makes them get out of it, and they have trouble. They have trouble getting into it. So they get back into it. So they need our help. So that's where flower essences, aromatherapy, heck, tranquilizers sometimes comes in. It doesn't also all have to be natural. It could be allopathic as well. That's where healing comes in to help them get back into the flow. They've lost their way. We're trying to get them back into the flow of their stream of well-being. So that might be why Toby is attracting so much fear. It also could be, if he's attracting so much fear, it could be that's where he is vibrationally. If you are in a fearful stance, think about it. If you yourself are in a fearful stance, everything starts overwhelming you. Everything starts freaking you out. Why? Like attracts like. Like attracts like. This is why I am so adamant about being in a state of positivity as much as I can. Now, I understand I have my bad days, okay? I do. I'm not all happy, skippy, fluffy. There's some days I get pissed. Some days I get angry at the universe. I do. Some days I get frustrated. But I try, my goal is to be like the animals, try to get back into that stance of alignment as soon as I possibly can, because feeling ugly and yucky used to feel really comfortable to me. It used to be the norm every single day. And now it is so abhorrent to me, that feeling of fear and worry and concern and anger and resentment and ugliness. I can't stay into it more than now. I think maybe an hour, maybe, but then I'm working my booty off to get myself back into that stream of well-being and to feel back into alignment, because I can't take it anymore. I don't have the tolerance for the bullshit. Excuse me. I don't have the tolerance for the bullshit like I used to. I just don't. I can't take it. I want to feel good. I want to feel happy. That's what I learned from the animals. That's what they have to teach us. That make happiness a priority. We make everything else a priority. The bills we got to pay, and the taxes we got to do, and all this other kind of stuff. Our happiness should be the priority every single day. That's the way the animals live their life. That's the way they align with what they want. That's the way that they communicate with the oneness or God or the universe. That is the way we should be. That's my opinion. You want to be in another state? That's your choice. You have a choice. It's all about choice. I choose happiness, but that's me, and call me crazy. I don't really care, but it works for me, so I'm going for it. So anybody else has got any questions? I try to be positive and track positive, Victoria Kramer says. Good. If you are positive, and I'm not saying positive when you're not, you have to play with it, okay? The animals can line up with it and go right into it almost, but sometimes there are degrees for us, and you don't want your mind to call out, bullshit when you're saying, I'm happy. Maybe it's just like, I'm okay. That's all right. That feels good. I'm okay. I'm okay is better than depressed. It's better than powerless, and it's better than yucky. So, you build up. Don't think that you have to go from here to here, because you can't do it. It's too much of a leap. You need to build up to increments. You need to talk yourself down off the ledge. Okay, not talk yourself from the second floor to the 14th floor in 2 seconds. You can't do it. You need to build up. Even if you take an elevator up to the 14th floor, it's still going to take time. You can't go. There's no transporters yet. Okay, so yes, Tammy DeFranco has a question. What if some people might have a chemical imbalance? Can you still decide to be happy if it's psychological? I think so. I think it's vibrational. I think there is this ingrained part of us, just like if you look at an animal that's been very, very, very badly mistreated, okay? If you get them out of that, somehow or another, if you give them hope, if you help them define their hope, they will take it the rest of the way. I think humans have a tendency to get into our own way. We have a tendency to live in the past. We have a tendency to live in fear. We have a tendency to live in doubt. And I think if we start to make a concerted effort, and I'm not saying you're not making an effort, I'm saying that if you make happiness your priority, it becomes that new habit. depression and feeling down and feeling bad, and you're talking to somebody who's been there. I've been there. I was in a 5-year depression for myself personally when I was supposed to be, you know, happy, skippy, and sober and all this kind of stuff. I went through a 5-year depression, and it was awful. It was awful. And I get it. I understand. And before that, you know, suicidal, the whole 9 yards. I've been there. I get it. But what's happening here is that the animals are telling you that if you can get into your happy, you're going to be okay. And I think if we make happy our new habit, a happy habit, I think you can do it. You can get yourself it. You can get yourself into a state of alignment again. And I think anything is possible. If you believe it, I think anything is possible. So I hope that helped to answer your question. Okay, we're running a little later than I thought. I'm trying to keep this to a more concise, you know, maybe 20 minutes, and I'm 20 minutes over now. So if there's any more questions that you have, feel free to post them on this post, on this video. I'm happy to answer them. So next week, I hope you can join me, because it's going to be a very interesting, and it's not going to be as horrible as you think it is, but it is I'll be discussing neglect and abuse and the animals and how they believe it doesn't define them. But it's going to be some tough stuff, but it's not going to be something that's going to leave you down. It's not what I'm about. And I'm not going to show you any pictures of abuse. I don't do that either. And I'll tell you why, okay, in the next episode. I really hope you can join me. Again, thank you all for joining. Thank you all for your questions. I will read any more questions that you have at the end of this post. Again, you can see the videos on YouTube. You can see them here on my Facebook page. I have a special folder in my photo album called Just for the Animal Experience. Also, they're going to be available as podcasts on iTunes and Google Play. And hopefully, maybe sometime soon, there'll be another way for you to get the animal experience. So I want to thank you all. If you're interested in a session with me, please go to my website. It is CorielKramer.com. You can find me on Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, all under Coriel Kramer. And if you want to, please shoot me an email at mail@CorielKramer.com. I want to thank you again, all of you. I send love and light to you, and joy and happiness to you, to your animals and this planet. And I will see you next week. Thank you.